Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU, coming at you again in week 3 of the regular season for our big preview show, starts, sits, etc. I'm Mr. Bill DeCousis. I'm here with Mr. Tom Lang. Mr. Lang, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well, doing well. Busy week we got here, so let's get to it.
Busy week indeed. We got some interesting news. So, as we're recording right now, we found out very recently that it turns out that Justin Fields is not going to be playing for the New York Jets this weekend. So, we have a lot of players to talk about. We're going to get to it when we talk about it today, but obviously, it's not good for the Jets. It's going to be a bad day for the Jets offense.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna skyrocket for Mr. Wilson over there.
Really,
Yes,
really.
sir. I
All
think it's
right.
gonna be a great day. Top five, top five.
I guess we'll talk about it today a little bit more. There was some other little odds and ends in terms of injuries. We'll talk about the Brian Thomas situation today. The biggest copium type of news that we found out that the reasons that he wasn't catching as well is because he had a hurt wrist, but he wasn't on any of the injury reports before that, which is I don't even know what to make of Liam Cohen when he has that conversation. So yeah,
I don't know.
not a good start for Mr. Duval with that kind of information. Any other bits of interesting news across your desk this morning?
Yeah, I'm surprised you actually didn't cover
Oh,
this.
I might have. Go ahead.
No, well, Mr. Jaden Daniels is questionable for week 3, and they are
Well, we knew
playing.
that. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that, but it's leaning towards he potentially may not play this week.
Right.
So, I would be play caution with some of those wide receivers in that backfield over there. Could be a rough game.
How do you? I mean, we'll get to the game when we talk about it, but if would you have seen it differently if his backup has to be in there versus a hobbled Jaden Daniels?
A little bit because Jaden Daniels would stand in the pocket a little bit more and he'd be able to throw the ball. Obviously he'd be taking a little bit more. He won't be scrambling as much, which I've been very, very, very clear about. I don't think that is a smart approach for him to continue to do as he matures into this offensive system and also into his professional career. Um, Guys are a little bit bigger, faster, and stronger in the NFL. So I'd be a little bit cautious about his rushing. And he has a knee issue. So sophomore season, knee issue, quarterback. It's not a good place to
Well,
be.
we should point out, and again, we'll talk about it when we get to the game, but Mariota is a perfectly competent backup with a similar skill set as he has, obviously.
Yeah,
But I mean, we'll
he
get to
is. He's a good backup, but I mean, he's been on multiple teams for reasons. So
well, we'll get to that when we get to the game. You ready to jump in? We got a long slate of games here to get to
yeah,
here.
let's get through it.
Let's jump right in. I'm so excited. This is gonna be a great week 3. So we'll start Thursday night football. We've got the
Not going to
Miami.
be such a great game.
Well, let's see. So the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is the home favorites there, minus 11 and a half points. The over-under from FanDuel is 49 and a half points. A lot of points, not of which is not a lot of which is going to Miami.
No.
So you play your Bills defense, especially in this game. On the Miami side, you're playing Devon Achane. We'll talk about the other options in a minute. The Bills side, you're playing James Cook, you're playing Josh Allen, and obviously, like we said, you're playing the Bills defense.
And I would say something as well, just to jump in real quick. Davis, I think, could be a nice little spot start this week. If they are blowing them out and
This is
they're
a good
they're
point.
ahead by a lot, Ray Davis could be a really nice player to throw into your lineups in your flex position this week.
We should just do a quick mention of this. You're a big proponent of this as well. We kind of talked about this last year too during various games that when you have a team where they're going to blow out the other team, or it's
Hmm.
at least on paper that they're going to blow out the other team, and then there's a really competent backup to the starter, it's always a good spot start if you need it to like throw that guy in. So
If you
like
want that upside, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, the only
we see
problem
it a lot.
is the only problem though is it's Thursday night football. So do you want to start with upside or you want to start with eek. I would say this, like, if this wasn't Thursday night football, I'd throw in Ray Davis, if it was maybe like Sunday night football or a Monday night football game, I'd probably look for that upside there. If I'm behind and I need some, explosive plays. Like I said, I mean, I would if you got him, he is a good option, but it's for me throwing him in my lineup, it'd be a little bit of a tough pill to swallow. But again, he is a good option. Again, it's just kind of like a double-edged sword.
It's
I don't know
if
which
it's
one to go.
I would say if it's absolutely necessary,
Yeah.
like, and I'm sure we'll be mentioning names also that I'd be like, you know what, we could use Ray Davis as a barometer to be
Yeah,
like,
let's use him as a barometer throughout the
yeah,
entire, breakdown when we talk about, start
other
sits in some
guys.
games. Yeah.
Other options for the Bills. We don't have them as must starts, but Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Dalton Kincaid, they're all welcome. You're all welcome to throw them into your lineup. My only concern is this game might get ahead of them. Like they might get really far ahead and then they just kind of
Yeah.
like, all right, let's just wind it down or whatever with Cook and Davis or whatever. So take of that what you will, but we've been singing their all of their praises thus far in the season.
Yeah.
On the Miami side. Okay, Tommy, you tell me if I could play or if anybody could play Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle in this game.
I mean, if you got him, I feel like you need to, because they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw the ball. I don't think they're going to get completely stuffed every single play. Tua is going to have to get the ball out of his hands. I mean, you know, I think they are valid wide receiver three options that have wide receiver one, wide receiver two upside. Um, but you need Tua to get the ball off. So,
Sure.
it is a divisional game. It's Thursday night football. I have to look at the historical elements of how Tua does at night. I do know we've seen a couple games, and I've always been on the Miami Dolphins side for their explosive plays, and it's always bit me every single time. Um, though they were pretty close games, but I've lost money lines on Miami. I am not putting money on the money line this week for the Miami Dolphins. Um, take that down. Make sure I don't send you some money.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I was encouraged by a bit of what still wasn't a pretty game, but they kind of bounced back a little bit offensively against the Patriots in the last game. I mean, it is a game that there's a 49.5 over under, so I got it. Most of the points are going to be going to the Bills. Presumably if you got them on your team, you're going to be looking to try to get them in. Not the best in the world, but I guess you try to. And I'm also encouraged by, that Waddle especially had a very, very good game, so it makes kind of
Yeah,
our call on that feel better.
and
Um,
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued after Waddle's last game to throw him in the mix and continue to roll on that a little bit because they're gonna have to throw the
they're
ball.
going to have to throw,
It's
right?
just the game script. They're gonna be playing from behind. If somehow they're playing, it's a good game. Then the football gods are completely against this game. Then
No, I agree with you. All right, let's move it on. Let's go to the Sunday slate. So we've got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are the home favorites there, minus 3.5 points. The over-under is 44.5 points. Now, I noticed on our little show doc, we have a bit of a mark here, which we'll get to. So on the Washington side, because of the uncertainty of the Daniel situation, we don't have him as a must start. And even if he was in, I'd be a bit worried about it. I don't think we would have him as a must start. So we've got Zach Ertz, though, who's been just crushing it for 2 weeks. He's like the tight end two or something, tight end three, maybe. He's doing great. So he's on the must start category. On the Raiders side, with Bowers back, he should be in much better shape by the time the game starts. You're starting Brock Bowers. All right, Tommy. So normally speaking, we're starting Ashton Jonty. You don't ask questions. Obviously, there's going to be road bumps along the way. He's a starting running back. He's a bell cow. Why should somebody consider not starting him?
I mean, his numbers are not where his value should be. I'm a little
Doesn't mean you don't
concerned.
start him.
No, it doesn't mean you don't start him, but I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned with him. Basically the problem was, last week against the Chargers, he only saw a 56% snap share. So that's a little scary for, a guy that was taken in the first round that he is your number one running back on your roster. Week one, he had an 86% snap share. He only had 11 attempts last week. They were playing from behind, but he also is a reception. He did have four targets, three receptions, 1 yard. It's just it's not looking good right now. What saved him week one was that touchdown. Outside of that, he only had 38 yards week one. So he's not up to professional football speed right now. And also, I think, you know how Pete Carroll is sometimes with players as well too. It's kind of he's an old school coach, just like kind of like Sean Payton. I'm not saying he's going to get benched, but I'm going to say this: if he does not pick up blocks and he doesn't, you know,
I know which plays you're talking about.
he
Yeah.
doesn't pick up blocks and he's not consistent down in, down out. Well, you got a guy named Mostert's back there, right? A veteran back, 32-year-old guy. I could see him basically getting some snap share there and, showing the guy what's up and, take the ball out of his hands a little bit more and, things could change a little bit. I,
I,
I'm
I,
I'm a
I,
little I'm a little hesitant. If you got options, like I wouldn't start Ray Davis over Ashton Genty. You can't do that. But there are other options that potentially you can say, hey, listen, like I may need to flex this guy, and if I have a better option in my flex, I might have to lean that route.
Maybe a lot of people might not have that. Obviously, he was a people's first round pick. I mean, they
Um,
might not have that. I mean, we'll get to the other names, but it could be a difficult proposition. I'll say this: I do agree with what you're saying about the Pete Carroll thing.
it's rough, man.
I think that'll get worked out. You got to remember that, and this should be evidence this season, and we talked about it in the offseason about how much a good offensive line matters. The Raiders' offensive line is not that good. But you look
No,
at these other teams that are crushing it above expectations, like the Colts, because of how great their offensive line is. And these other teams that aren't, like the Texans, because they have no offensive line, and Joe Burrow's injured for the whole year because of that. So keep that in mind. I don't want to. I'm not going to jump to too many conclusions with that. He's still a bell cow back, the starting running back on the team. I don't know how you set him. So just maybe you lower your expectations temporarily
I
until
would
that.
completely lower my expectations until he could start proving that he could
Yep.
get some yards.
Let's check the other options here. So on the commander side, because it's not Daniels at his peak, even if it's Mariota or what, I feel less confident in McLaurin and Debo. But do you try to get them in
I don't feel less confident in Debo. I feel less
because
confident in
the
McLaurin. The reason why I'm a little bit higher, I think Debo is going to still be scripted the same way. Offensive plays are offensive plays for a reason. As you said, Mariota has a skill set that is more of a scrambling kind of guy. You're going to have Debo in the backfield a little bit more. JCM didn't show it as good as as good as we everybody was saying it was going to happen. We didn't agree with that as much. It's gonna be a complete crapshoot in that backfield, and I think Debo is going to have some vital opportunities back there to get some primary touches.
I agree with that. For everybody, by the way, let's talk about the Washington running back situation. So for everybody who has JCM that's was so excited about it, and again, we already told all of them off. We don't need to tell them off again. But for everybody who has JCM, I get it. You're going to be trying to play him here because this is going to when else would you do it? His first chance to be the guy, quote unquote, or be the lead guy in a committee or whatever. Just bear in mind, you don't know how they're going to do this. Tommy and I both believe that it's going to be a committee, and it might be a three-headed committee that goes into this. They might even bring in another back at some point. So if it's me, I would love to wait and see, but I got it. The excitement level for JCM is so huge that a lot of people are going to try to get him in. This is us just telling you to be cautious about it, especially with uh, either a suboptimal Daniels or a Mariota in there. On the Raiders side, I got it. Like while Myers is on the team, he's always a good flex option for PPR stuff. But I would be trying to stay away from everybody not named Brock Bowers on the team.
Yeah.
It's interesting, by the way. Like I feel like the steam for the Dante Thornton thing has gone down the drain while Myers is there. So
Yeah, I
maybe
mean he's still getting his looks, but not as consistent as you want it. I mean, again, you didn't draft a guy early; you drafted him as a late round shot. We're going into week three. We got
right.
a whole lot of season left.
Yes, we do. Let's move it on. We've got the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Atlanta are the road favorites. They're minus 5.5 points. The over-under is 43.5 points. that doesn't leave too many points for Carolina. And obviously, Atlanta's defense has been looking great. You
Yeah.
starting your Falcons defense there, absolutely. On the Falcons side, you're starting Bijan Robinson. You're starting Drake London, and like
Yeah,
we
he's
said,
trolling all of us.
his name is Bijan. I'm not calling him anything else. You're starting Drake London, and obviously, like we said, we're starting the Falcons. On the
You could call
Carolina,
him Mr. Robinson if you
we
want.
can. On the Carolina side, you're starting Chuba Hubbard and you're starting Tet McMillan. Um, Other options here. So I don't know how if it's me, I'm not gonna have him because by definition, if I put the words Kyle Pitts and must start in the same sentence, I might a spontaneous combustion. But
Yeah.
he had it, like we said, he still had in my opinion, he still had a good week, but it was down a little bit from where he was in week one. I feel like this is gonna be a great game from him. If you got better option, fine, but if you need it, absolutely, you could roll with Kyle Pitts here. Um, very, I would have no issues with that at all. On the Carolina side, I mean, keep an eye, like we just said, we talked about it on the wave on the maybe the other show. Keep an eye on Jatavian Sanders. He could turn out to be a viable option for Bryce Young going forward. He did a little bit of a breakout last year. Keep an eye on it. Obviously, in the tight end landscape, you're always looking for breakout guys. Is there anybody else in this game you're looking to play?
Not really. I mean, I mean, I don't think must plays. There are some potential, but again, I think, when it comes,
Renfro at all?
nah, I mean, we discussed everybody's going to rush to the waiver wire. I guarantee you and I didn't even look at his percentage of increase, but I guarantee you that his increase probably went up by at least 15 or 20% just because of one game. It's not going to happen again. Probably it's going to happen maybe in 3, 4 weeks. Then you won't see it again for another 3, 4 weeks. And you won't see it again for another. You literally got to roll the dice every single week if you actually want to play that guy. Don't do it.
All right, we won't do it. Um, but yeah, like it was just funny seeing them go to
Yeah,
him instead of Leggett in
yeah.
the in the game.
Well,
All
I mean, they went to Leggett. He caught one ball out of 8.
right. All right, let's go to the next game. Oh, this is going to be a slaughter. We've got the Green Bay Packers at the Cleveland Browns. Green Bay are the road favorites, minus 8.5 points. The over-under there is 41.5 points. Oh, dear Lord, please play your Packers defense. Packers, you're playing Josh Jacobs, you're playing Tucker Kraft, and like we said, you're playing the Packers defense. So on the
Let, let me tell you something. This whole in the whole off season, there was chatter about Joe Flacco just gunslinging it. He is not the gunslinger anymore.
I uh, in specific matchups, like in specific matchups, he did it in week one, which was the main one that we thought that was going to happen for. So,
I
but
mean, he barely did it for fantasy numbers.
some people let him down in that game too. But on the Cleveland side, because of how things are and because of who they're playing, I can't. We have no starts in this game. I would want to stay away from the backfield until it clears itself up a little bit, especially against the Packers, and they have almost
Yeah.
no implied points. The
I would not touch that backfield. I mean, Judkins is a maybe. I mean, he's definitely going to be pushed as the primary back there. I don't think it's a crapshoot anymore. Yeah,
I'll,
Judkins is the guy, but I wouldn't start him against the Packers defense.
I'll tell you what, if Judkins performs in this game against the Packers, then I mean, then
It's a different
after this,
conversation
it'll
next
be a
week.
different conversation next week. So let's hold off
Well,
until
I would
then.
say this, if for all of you guys that are on the Judkins train, go trade from this week because next week it could be a very, very pricey guy.
He could very well be. Um, I won't get too personal, but I have Judkins in one or two important leagues, and I've tried to ship him out to certain people, saying that, FYI, the price might go up here, so maybe get in on it while it's low. And they've
Well,
poo poo.
you're not a salesman, so that's not how you lead with the trade, by the way.
I know. If I lead them with something that'll literally insult them, then maybe I come at something much lower.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
So the wide receivers for the same situation. I don't want to play Judge Judy. I don't want to play Cedric Tillman here. It's just too bad. And both tight ends. I don't want to play Njoku. I don't want to play Fannin here. I really
I
don't.
I do think potentially Njoku is a nice streamer
Maybe.
option this week potentially if needed. There aren't a ton of let's just say on our board right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so we need at least 3 more streamer tight ends that we're saying outside the must starts. No, I think he could be a nice streamer tight end. I don't think he's going to see the end zone, but I think he could be targeted, anywhere from 7 to 8 times. He catches his balls, so
Maybe. I'll say this,
he's going to get you a baseline of 10 points. So
there's
I
going to
take that for
be
my tight end.
there's going to be at least one skill player, obviously, because somebody's going to score a touchdown. There's going to be at least one skill player in Cleveland who has a nice day. We just can't accurately predict who it's going to be. It might end up being Fannin. We don't know.
Eh,
So take of it with your own thing. On the Packers side, in a game where they're scoring this many points and they're going to crush the team, it makes me worried about now, we just had the Reed thing, so we're feeling good about Dobbs and Golden, but they're going to crush them. So I don't know how much they're going to actually need their wide receivers to do too much in this
mm,
game. So I'd be wary about starting either of them. They're both good options in general, but until they get a more competitive game, maybe try to find some other options in this game. I will say that literally that's my same thought logic on Love. I would love to play Love. He's been doing great. He's on a great team, but they just might not need him to do that much in this game.
no.
So
Yeah, I think they just run this out.
yeah, they run it out, and this could be another one of those like, hey, they destroy the team and they just go to like their
It
backs
also
in the
could
fourth
be
quarter.
a pretty good defensive game, though, to be honest. I mean, you never know.
Maybe.
I mean, Cleveland did it against Joe Burrow for week 1, so
No, you're absolutely right. And obviously, like we said, you play
I
your
will not. I
Cleveland
would not
Browns.
say start the Cleveland Browns defense as a streamer, but I'm just saying,
No,
it could be a nice defensive matchup.
I would not do that. That would be bad.
I would not do that. I was just saying it could be a nice defensive matchup.
Let's move it on. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. Pittsburgh are the road favorites, minus 1.5 points. The over under there is 44.5 points. So a lot of the respect to the Steelers defense has kind of gone away for now.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see how that goes. On the Steelers side, I don't know how you sit Jalen Warren. We've got him as a must start. He's been performing both games out of the year. He's the lead back for Pittsburgh. He does it. He keeps doing it. Keep rolling with it. You play DK Metcalf. I would have liked to see him get a bit more targets in the last game, but he did get the touchdown, so happy enough, I guess.
hmm
Um, I on the New England side, we have no must starts. None. I could see guys that maybe you'd consider playing. I'd want to stay away from that backfield because I mean, maybe you might have to throw in Ramondre or Travion Henderson, but everybody's been complaining about the Travion Henderson thing. We told you that Ramondre was going to be the main guy at least for a while.
Yeah,
So
I did think that Travion was going to have a good week 2 last week against the what you call it, the Dolphins. But you know, it didn't work out that way. He only saw 8 snap. I think he had 8 carries. It wasn't too good.
no, it was exactly like that. I would say on the Patriots side, if in an emergency, if you need a tight end, you could always throw in Hunter Henry. He's the quintessential streaming tight end who could do decent enough for you.
Yeah.
I would again, it's such a weird thing having to dissect through Diggs and Boutte. It's like, okay, do you want to throw any of them in there? I mean, uh, we get no boost because Diggs is now engaged to Cardi B or whatever the situation is.
That's it's not just engaged to Carly
Father
B.
to be, father to be,
Father to be. Father to
father,
be.
father to be. I would stay away from both Diggs and Boutte, honestly. Which, by the way, has no, no pun intended.
Diggs, stay away from that Butte.
No pun intended to the real life situation. Both tight ends for Pittsburgh, you stay away from until more clarity. Although it's starting to lean towards the Jono thing, but keep it up in the back of your head. QBs, you could probably stream both of them. I wouldn't feel that crazy about it. I know you feel better about Rodgers. Is this a game where you'd feel better about it?
Yeah, I feel a little bit better about it. I think Rodgers does have a bounce back week this week. He had a pretty much almost a career low last week
Right.
in his QBR. So I
Would you
think
stream him or Daniel Jones? That's a good question.
I'd probably go
Six,
Daniel
six,
Jones.
6 point touchdown league.
6 point touchdown. Well, I would go 6 point touchdown with the legs yards.
Still,
I go
still
Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I have to. I have to until proven otherwise. I mean, so that's the thing. I mean, and I will say this, everybody, one big player, you got Kenneth Gainwell. We talked about him in
Yeah.
the ad drop show, and we've been talking about him the reason why we're talking about him so much is because his snap percentage, he's 54% snap percentage week one against the Jets, 42% snap percentage against the Seattle Seahawks week two. So he is the
Involved.
hand he's involved. He's also the handcuff.
Sure.
Um, I would be very, very he's very important to have on your roster if you have Jalen Warren.
Let's go to the next game. We've got the LA Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are home favorites, minus 3.5 points. I think this is gonna be a great game. The over-under there is 44.5 points. Rams side, you're playing Kyron, you're playing Puka. Eagles side, you're playing Barkley, you're playing Hurts. Um, some of these other now, most of consensus online has people playing the Eagles defense. Let me tell you right now, I would be
Don't do it.
trying not to play them. The Rams are good, so they could very well win this game. So I would stay away from that. Then they're
I
very
wouldn't
well
play I
coached.
wouldn't play the Rams or the Eagles
No,
defense.
no.
Both defenses are good. Don't do it.
All right. I would personally, I would try to not play Devonte Adams here. Do you disagree, or you're okay to roll him in?
I think honestly, the Eagles' pass defense is mediocre. I'd say. I don't think they're fantastic. I think they're mediocre. I probably would look
Uh,
at. I mean,
I think
honest.
they're great, but
I think Stafford finds finds him in the end zone or close to, and he gets him on some key plays that gets them down the field. I think he's a nice flex low end wide receiver too this week.
okay. How about the Eagles wide receivers? I know that you felt really awful about AJ Brown, and you turned out to be 100% right last game. I mean, now we're at a place where AJ Brown is not a must start every week, and I basically see him and Devontae Smith from a potential perspective basically very similar. Like,
Mm,
we see what's going on with the Eagles. They're a low passing volume team because they don't need to. They could just tush push their way down the field, Saquon for another 30-yard touchdown. That's how they roll. They don't nearly need it. And then maybe occasionally they, get a guy on a 20-yard crossing pattern. I mean, I get it. You really want to play AJ Brown if you have him, and you're probably going to. I mean, it's a difficult sell to tell people to sit him.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess I don't know.
It's hard, but honestly, I mean, again, he's not being put in the mix as much as we thought. So, I have him as a low end, or a middle end wide receiver too. He's not putting up wide receiver two numbers right now. But I
Yeah.
feel like you still have to put him there just because of who he is.
Yeah. Right. And I guess to a slightly lesser degree, Devontae Smith. So it's a
Hmm.
weird situation. I mean, maybe in a game that's a bit more competitive, although they were in a competitive game against the Cowboys. So uh
That
yeah,
was week one though.
I'm not crazy about it. Tight end, you could throw in Goddard if you need it. He's back now. There's better options, but again, if you need to stream a tight end, you could do worse than him. So there we go. And Stafford, like we said, if Stafford doesn't get any passing touchdowns, he's going to be useless to you as a streamer. So if you call your shot. If that's what you think, you could roll with Stafford, in lieu of, many people picking up quarterbacks on the waiver wire this week. Let's move it on. We've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Indianapolis are the road favorites, minus 3.5 points. The over under there is 43.5 points. Not a lot of points for the Titans. You play your Colts defense. Colts, you're playing Jonathan Taylor and you're playing Ty Warren. He's just a must start. Like, that's it. He's been great. He's going to continue to be great. He's the number one target for that team, and they're 2-0. So on the Tennessee Titans side, I don't have any must starts. Okay. However, Mr. Tom Lang, for some reason, thinks that if you have Calvin Ridley, you need to get him in there. So I would love you to sell me on that.
Well, then I didn't plug this one in, but I do think that flex play could be Michael Pittman as well too on the Indianapolis Colts side. I think he's been pretty consistent, and same thing with Daniel Jones has been pretty consistent to throwing him the ball, and in great opportunities. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well,
Flex. If you have a double flex, I mean,
well, I have thoughts on Pittman and Downs both, but I want you to sell me on Ridley. You changed the show doc to add
yeah,
Ridley in there, so
yeah.
sell me on it.
I This is the week.
That's not how you define a must start. This is the week.
This is the week. This is the week that you drafted Ridley in the sixth round. This is the week.
All right.
Start him with comfortability.
Oh man, talk about gut shot confidence here. All right.
I feel it.
All right, well, let me answer the charge on the Pittman and Downs thing. Yes. Pittman has been performing pretty well this season. Now, there was a bit of a normalization last week where Downs is now coming more involved or whatever. The way I see this is, first of all, we don't even really know if the Colts are this good, if they're going to continue to keep going, if it's going to be this consistent. My faith in Daniel Jones is it's going to take a while to build that up. So I got it. They're playing a really bad team in the Titans this week, and they're probably going to win the game. So it, the way I see it is, I don't see Pittman as more talented than Downs. In fact, I see the opposite. I see Downs as more talented than Pittman. So maybe it's just a function of how the game went. There's always some inconsistencies among wide receivers. So for that reason,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
they're two different style of wide receivers. That's the thing. I mean,
Yes.
he could be more talented by running routes and being more elusive, but Michael Pittman is a bigger guy. He is a decent route runner as well too, and he's going to catch the ball on the sideline when needed.
Honestly, I can answer you the way I see this is Ty Warren is the main guy, and then in terms of pass catchers, in a pinch, if you need to throw either Pittman or Downs in there, you can. I wouldn't feel crazy about it, but that's
Yeah,
in general how I
I
feel.
wouldn't say it's a must start. I'd say
No,
this is somebody that is a possibility that you might want to roll the dice on because
sure.
it could pay off pretty handsomely.
Uh, Options for the Titans. If you got Pollard, I guess it depending on how what your other running back options are. I get that you're going to try to get him in
I
there.
feel like you got to.
He's still got the backfield all to himself, but it might not be a pretty game. The Colts have a pretty good defense. So just keep it in mind. It maybe lower your expectations if you're gonna be getting him in there. Tommy just tried to sell you guys on Ridley. I'm not there, but
Do it.
you take of it what you will. I mean, by the way, we haven't spent any time on the waiver shows or anything talking about Alec Io Manor, and I feel like just let's give 2 seconds of lip service to it. Um, One of the reasons I have not bringing him up on the waiver wire is I just don't think that I don't think that some little bit of early success is going to continue.
It's too early.
I think it's too early to make that jump, but we should take notice. I mean, he did have a pretty good couple
I
games
th
there.
I think the reason why it's being taken notice on a lot of different platforms is because, you know, you want to kind of be ahead in fantasy football, right? So, you know, you take those guys with long term, like, you know, as a shot, right? A lot of times these guys that you're taking like him, you know, if he's not going to be consistent or he's going to start dropping a little bit and he starts becoming more streaky, he's going to find his way to the waiver wire and it's going to be a waste of a pick. You know, you take these shots, you know, I would say like this, like, you know, we haven't talked about the Giants yet. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but like Cam Scatterbo is a late round, you know, a guy that, you know, he still is on waiver wires in some spots. And if he's not, you know, he's definitely somebody you drafted for a reason and you draft for the long haul. So, you know, that is the same thing. I mean, if you got it, you're drafting people to call your shots, you got to do that. If you're trying to pick people up to call your shots, you got to do that same thing too. But I don't feel it with him.
Okay. I'll say this, if Ridley at any point ever goes down, I think Io Manor could be a great player at that point, but I think it's just a little early for that too.
Yeah.
Um, So, like we pointed out on the waiver show, if you need a tight end emergency start, you could go with Chigakonkwo. He's going to get some targets. He's athletic. He'll have some opportunity there. And quarterback obviously not playing Cam Ward, but Daniel Jones is a very good streamer this week. Roll with it if you need to. Again, he's among the top scoring quarterbacks so far in fantasy football. Remains to be seen if this continues. Again, the Colts are likely to win this game. It's probably going to be a good game for them against Tennessee, but we got to see how things roll for the Colts in upcoming weeks when games start to get more competitive. But for right now, you could roll with Daniel Jones. You could roll with the Colts. Colts are likely to be 3-0 at the top of the league. All right, let's go to the next game, which is it's going to be oh man, it's going to be a slaughter. So we've got the New York Jets. Oh boy, great team. at the
I
Tampa Bay.
think I think you need to stop saying this is going to be a slaughter whenever the Jets are being we're
Yeah.
talking about them because the Jets do sometimes put up a game, and I think that Tyrod Taylor is going to put up a game here.
Yeah, we'll get to that. New York Jets at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay are the home favorites, -6.5 points. The over-under there is 44.5 points. Not a lot of points for the New York Jets, so please play your Bucks defense. Um, on the Bucks side, you're basically playing everybody that matters here. You're playing Bucky Irving. You're playing Mike Evans. You're playing Abuka. You're playing Baker Mayfield. And I would stay away from Cade Otton, I guess, as an emergency option. If you need him at tight end, go for it. On the Jets side here, so this is interesting because of the Tyrod Taylor situation. I don't think you can start anybody on the Jets, including Garrett Wilson. Do
I
you
th
disagree?
I think this game is going to be a shootout
How?
just because Tyrod Taylor is just a gunslinging kind of guy. He's done it. He's done it so many times. He's done it so many times.
It's been years,
It was
years.
2 years ago, and last year he did it.
What
Did
game
it with
did he
the
have that he was a
He did it
gunslinger
with the
in?
Jets. He did it with the Jets
He
last
didn't have
year.
what was the score? 11-10? Like what?
No, no, I'll pull it up. We can continue, but I'll pull it up.
Yeah, as you pull it up, like Wilson's a separate category, but like for this reason, I don't think you could start Brees Hall. Obviously, you're not starting Mason Taylor. Like, there's nobody I think you could possibly start from this game. Now, if you want to make the narrative that it's Tyrod Taylor. They're going to just pepper Wilson with targets, and then you could PPR your way to relevance. That's fine. If you believe that, you could go ahead and roll with Wilson, but it's going to be a bad game from the Jets. Now go ahead. Let's see the gunslinger thing here. If you're still
Well,
looking it up,
last year he had 18 points in week 17, but
we
let's go back to 2023.
okay.
Yep, 2023 he had 28.4 points. Um, he had 27.95 points. He
Was
had
this on
20
rushing or was this on
No,
like
it's passing through the air. He had 319 yards, 297 yards, 279
for
yards.
what team was this?
That was on the Giants.
All
That was on the Giants when they had
right.
nobody.
They listen.
I'm telling you something right now. Watch out. I mean, you're gonna be screaming through the roof,
All right.
hoping this game. This is literally last week's Giants Cowboys game,
Okay. Well, officially speaking,
and
that means
Baker's gonna bake.
officially speaking, that means you think you would continue to start Garrett Wilson. Would you
Oh yeah.
start would you start Brees Hall?
I'd have to because he's gonna have to do a lot of checkdowns to him. So
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right. So we'll have a differing of opinion on that. So take of that what you will. Take of that what you will. All right, let's go to the next game. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Minnesota Vikings. We've got the Vikings as home favorites, -3 points. The over-under there is 42.5 points. Not a lot of points for Cincinnati, even though Browning is a perfectly capable backup for Burrow. And for Minnesota, it's going to be Carson Wentz starting, I believe, at this
Yeah, and
point,
then
right?
also we didn't cover this earlier, I don't believe.
Right.
But Jones is
And Jones is out, so we'll get
Jones is on IR. So he's gonna be out for the next
ah
yeah. He's on
okay.
IR for the next 4 weeks. So
So
Mason is rocking and rolling.
rock and roll Mason owners. I knew he was going to be out for this game, so we have Mason as a must start. But Mason's going to be great the next couple of weeks. So the Vikings side, you're starting Jordan Mason, you're starting Justin Jefferson, and you are starting the Vikings defense. They're a good defense, and the Cincinnati Bengals don't have a lot of implied points.
Hmm.
Um, on the Bengals side, you still start Chase Brown. You just maybe lower your like we said in general for the Bengals. The ceiling has been lowered. It is what it is, but it doesn't mean that they're useless, these assets. So Chase Brown, you're playing them. Jamar Chase, you're playing them. I don't think you play T. Higgins here. I don't.
No, I think Jamar Chase soaks up all those targets. T. Higgins could
Maybe.
get maybe 3 or 4 targets, but I just feel like, I mean, you got him, you play him. If you got him, he's in your lineup most likely. But
Sure.
I just feel like you can't bench him because of that. But again, it's going to be a tough situation. You're
We
hoping for a touchdown.
We like Jake Browning down the line as a streaming option. He's perfectly capable of backup in the right scenarios, but I don't think this is the game for him. The Vikings got a good D, and it's his first game in there.
And
So
with Aaron Jones being out for the next 4 weeks, they did sign Cam Akers,
that's right.
re-sign him. This is his fourth. third or fourth time on this roster within the past 3 years. So he knows the system. It could be a, nice pickup for somebody that needs, backup running back. Because I guarantee you that Mason is not taking 100% of the snap percentage.
If you got Hawkinson, I got it. You're going to try to get him in here, but he has not been performing up to
Yeah.
the expectation of like he should have been crushing it in Addison's absence, and he just
Well,
hasn't
maybe,
been
well, maybe he does well this week.
with Wentz.
Yeah, maybe he does well this week. We've
Maybe.
seen Carson Wentz basically, hyper target the tight end at times.
Okay. Well, keep it in mind. I would not be playing him over a lot of the other
No,
like superstar. I wouldn't play him over Zach Ertz, not at all.
I wouldn't play him over Jake Ferguson.
No. Well, we'll get to him, won't we? Yes. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are the home favorites, -1.5 points. The over/under is 43.5 points. Jacksonville, you're playing Travis Etienne. You keep rolling with it as he keeps, doing well and making us look really smart.
Yes, and but also Tootin is right in his backfield.
Yeah, yes, he is. No pun intended there either.
Toot, toot.
So and I think they're both super talented actually.
Yeah.
So Brian Thomas, he has the wrist injury. Here's the deal with him and with all superstars. If he's playing, you play him. If he's out, then you don't play him. That having been said, do you think the wrist injury was BS or do you think it's legit?
Uh, I guess we'll see this week. I'm not gonna.
You're
I'm not.
reserving judgment.
I'm being reserved on this injury. I mean, I wanna see how it handles this week. Because if
Okay.
he's fine, then I'm gonna be like, all right, well,
Okay.
all right.
Tight end Brenton Strange, I would stay away from him in this game. The Texans have a really great defense, and the over under is pretty low. I feel like you could find better options here, so I'm not too crazy about it.
But if you're looking for a streamer option, he is definitely, something. Again, we have 9 tight ends that are on this list here that we are saying they are must starts. He could be a streamer option. Doctor Strange could find his way into the end zone.
He could maybe, but maybe more guys have better options. So judge your options as they are. On the Houston side, you're playing Nico Collins, and like that's it. Uh, I mean, I would not want to play Chubb here. Like, how do you justify this?
I agree with you. I think that Chubb, he looked decent, but what really put him
Was
over
that
the
last
hump
second
last week was
touchdown?
that touchdown for 17 or 20 yards, whatever it
Sure,
was. So, I'd be a little hesitant. If you got him though, you're most likely playing him because the reason why you played him last week is the reason why you're going to play him this week. So, um, but again, if you have other options, throw those questions out there and we can
sure.
assist you with making the logical decision. Again, sometimes it pays off and sometimes, it just doesn't hit right. But, I'll tell you something right now, our percentages are higher than lower.
No shots to be taken on Travis Hunter, Dimey Brown, or Jaden Higgins on the
I love
Houston
to
side.
have me some Diami Brown on my roster, but I'm not probably
Not
throwing
unless
him in this week unless Hunter or, Thomas is out,
which they won't be. Okay.
which they won't be.
Let's just talk QB and defense just for a second. So theoretically, I guess both defenses are in play. Jacksonville's defense is in play because Houston has the worst offensive line you've ever seen in your life, and Houston's defense is in play because they got a great defense. And the
Mhm.
over/under in general isn't the highest. I would think you could find better options, but just
Yeah, I
a
mean they
note
do
of that.
they both let up points though too, so.
Yeah. And I would try to stay away from the QBs in this one. Although Trevor Lawrence has been looking better, but so I would try to stay away. I think there's way better options. Daniel Jones is definitely top of that list.
Hold on, but he's got to throw the ball here. He's got
Oh
to
yeah,
throw the ball here.
The Liam Cohen thing. Man, Jacksonville's going to be an endless supply of like funniness for us this season.
Duval.
It never gets old. Let's talk about the next game. We've got the New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is home favorites, -7.5 points. The over-under is 41.5 points. God bless anybody who got the Seahawks defense this week on waivers. It's going to be a good game for them. So start your Seahawks defense, you start JSN, and you start Ken Walker
Ugh.
on that team. While Ken Walker is healthy, you play him. Good
Yeah, I
luck if
mean,
he lasts.
but they're still sharing, still sharing the carries. I mean,
They are.
technically Charbonnet was in more snaps, but Walker did something with his touches. So,
This could be a game where Walker and Charbonnet both have a good game. To your point about the Bills, where Cook and Ray Davis might have a good game, this could be another one of
yeah,
that.
but Cook and Ray Davis are different than Charbonnet and Walker. They split carries, these guys. These guys, if not, Charbonnet has a higher percentage on carries.
Okay, so I'm not going to get you to be able to declare Walker as a confident start then.
I mean, he's a good start, but
Uh,
the fantasy production for Zach Charbonnet wasn't last week. I mean, but he was
right.
on 55% of the snaps, and Kenneth Walker was on under that.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, in a game where they're slated to score 25 points and crush the opposing team, I don't know. I feel
I
like it's
mean,
fine. So
I mean, can I ask you a question? Do you know how many, the percentage of snaps that Kenneth Walker was on last week?
I know that he was out snapped.
Okay, no, but do you know the percentage?
No, I don't.
Guess.
I don't know. I'm not going to get it right.
35%. He just made do with his number. He,
Okay.
he made do with his things.
I got it, but it mattered. So like it showed, okay, he's talented. They might get
He's
him the ball
talented.
again.
Yeah, they might until, the problem is when he gets the ball more, that's when he
Okay.
becomes glass.
Glass Joe. On the Saints side, it is pretty easy. We've got two names that it's unquestionable. Alvin Kamara and Juwan Johnson.
Jawan Johnson.
Yes. We just thought also we'd make a special note to be like Spencer Rattler is playing a lot better than we thought he would. Still not the best, but better than
Then I always thought he was a good option for fantasy.
I don't think he's a good option for
No,
fantasy.
no,
I
no, no.
think
For
he's
fantasy players. Sorry, that's what I meant. For
decent
fantasy
enough.
players. Yeah, he
Right.
makes people be relevant in
Like if
fantasy.
he keeps shoving the ball wherever Juwan Johnson is, I'll be happy. It's
Yes,
good for him.
yes, but they do need to free Chris Olave. Chris Olave needs to find his way to another roster so he doesn't get killed
We
on the field.
also we also identified on the waiver show Darnold is a decent enough flex quarterback streaming option in this game. So if you want to
Yeah.
take that shot, you can, especially in a game where they're gonna. Although if they crush the team, maybe he won't have to do too much. So keep it in mind. Um, let's go to the next game. We've got the Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be a good game too. Chargers are home favorites, -2.5 points. The over-under is 45.5 points. So, Chargers side, we've got you starting Ladidi Metcalfe and you're starting Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert at this point is I think one of the top names on the MVP list, along with like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen at this moment. So you're playing both of them. On the Denver side, you're playing Cortland Sutton. Notably, we left Omarion Hampton off of this list in terms of must starts. And
Mhm.
so are you with me that he's going to have to prove it, that they're going to have to, or is it more of a function of what they've been doing the first 2 weeks?
I think it's more of a function what they're doing, but then also they're going against a really, really, they're both tough defenses. So, I think they're going to be relevant in running the ball, but I don't think you're going to see over 3 to 4 yards per carry. So I just don't know if it's going to work out well. I think the pass catchers, on one side would do well and the running backs would do well on the other side. But I just don't know if I can, I don't know if I can be super confident in my
Sure.
starters over there.
No, I agree with it. I got it. You might want to try to get him in if you absolutely need a running back in, but I'm not crazy about it. They got to show a little bit more.
Hmm.
Maybe it takes more often the second half of the season. The other options for the Chargers, I got it. Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston have been doing great the first couple of games of the season, but this is Denver's defense now. You still trying to get him in? No questions asked, or are you
No, yeah,
trepidate? Really? No trepidation at all.
no.
Okay. Okay. I would have a little bit of trepidation, but okay. Your vote of confidence is well heard. Denver side, I don't. If you got Dobbins, again, it's early season stuff, so he's still the bell cow there. I would not be playing Harvey. I would be playing Dobbins, but again, maybe you've got better options at running back. Maybe you went zero RB and he's your only guy you got, so maybe you have to roll with it. See what your options are. Um, Other options though for the Broncos. So we had this thing where like I've been putting my line in the sand on Marvin Mims, but I mean I can't deny Troy Franklin's usage, his snaps, etc. But again, Sean Payton, he could fool us one week and then the next week come back and then just do something completely opposite. Therefore, I would not want to see I would not want to be on the losing end of that. So I would avoid putting in Mims. I would avoid putting in Franklin or Bryant. Wait and
Yeah.
see. If you see something consistent happening, then you could roll with it. So, for example, next week, if we see Troy Franklin with the same snaps and all that usage, then there we go. Marvin Mims might be a draft candidate, and then everybody's got to pick up Troy Franklin. So let's see it one more week. And Bo Nix is always an option because of especially in the running floor. I would be cautious because the Chargers have a great defense. But if you're in a 4 point touchdown league, I feel like you just get him in there, roll with it. Take your licks as they are.
Yep.
So that in mind. All right, let's go to the next game. We've got the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are home favorites, so -1.5 points. The over under there is 43.5 points. A lot of players in this game for a game that's not the biggest over under. On the Arizona side, you're playing James Conner. Even though it hasn't been good, you're going to still roll with Marvin Harrison. I mean, it
I'm
is
a
what
little
it.
nervous. I'm a little nervous about it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know how you sit him.
I don't think you can. Again, because but again, if you have an option, and again, this is what I said earlier, if you have those start sit questions, if you got somebody that's viable to ask about start sit against Marvin Harrison, ask those
Sure.
questions in our Sunday live.
Yeah. And obviously you're starting Trey McBride happily. San Francisco side. Okay, you're playing Christian McCaffrey. Tom Lang, I want you to tell me which 49ers receivers do you play?
I'm still going Ricky Pearsall.
Not Juwan Jennings after that really amazing performance.
I mean, they're both valuable, and I think Mac Jones could be a nice streaming opportunity this week.
That's possible. That's true. I would be sitting both Pearsall and Jennings.
Well,
I
you'll
think
you'll be losing a lot of fantasy points.
I think it's just too volatile. You don't know for sure who's going to go with that. Mac Jones is still, getting his feet under him. It really
Okay,
took him a while to get going in the last game, but
that's fine. He's got another week of practice.
all right. And it's so blasé the way you say it. And then I just wanted to talk about Kyler here. So I really hope this doesn't turn into a season like it was last year, where literally the most frustrating team was the Cardinals because of Kyler Murray. Kyler is so unbelievably frustrating. He caused that almost comeback that happened in the game this past week. He is the best awful player ever, or the most awful best player ever. I don't know how you want to describe it. I know you're going to come up with the Call of Duty narrative, but like he has to show some consistency. I've taken him off of every must start thing. Um, I want to see it. I want to see it from him multiple times in a row and like not screwing it up. Do you
Yeah,
agree? Or
no, I agree. I mean, it's he's such a talent, but he's also such a nuisance to the
right.
sport and to the sport, seriously. And I just feel like, you go into every season being like, all right, this is Kyler's year because that's how he's talking. But then this new Call of Duty game comes out and he's just like, he's the face of the game,
Unfortunately, I mean, it really
unfortunately.
like that's how you're being known as. So we'll see. I want to see some
That's what he is
consistency.
known at. I mean, come on.
We'll see. The 49ers will probably win. This should be a competitive game. So we'll see how the game rolls before we address that. I got it. If you got Kyler, you probably. I mean, I would love to play a better streamer than Kyler this week. I really would. It's just he aggravated me too much in week 2. All right, let's go to the next game. This is going to be a great game. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at the Chicago Bears. Chicago is the home favorite somehow, -1.5 points. The over-under there is 50.5 points. I don't see how you sit any people in this game. Let's start on the Dallas side. You're playing Javonte Williams, man. While he still continues to perform, you're rolling with him. You're playing CeeDee Lamb. You're playing tight end Jake Ferguson. You're playing Dak Prescott. Bears side. You're playing. Now look, this is 2 weeks in a row. It didn't work out. This is the week it comes back. So you're playing DJ Moore. You're still rolling with Roma Dunze, who has a good connection with Caleb
Hmm.
Williams, and you're playing Caleb Williams. If you're not gonna, this is the week to do it. It's 50 point over under. There's gonna be a lot of points in this game. Um, in terms of other options, if you got DeAndre Swift, I got it. You're not crazy about playing him, but if you want to, this is the game to do it. 50.5 points. So unless you got a better option, definitely you could go ahead and feel like you're going to roll with it. I would
Yep.
continue to stay away from the tight ends in Chicago because they tend to vulture each other. And we also said to drop Colston and Loveland anyway. So I would stay away from that as a thing. Um, what about Pickens, Tommy? Is any trepidation playing him? Or, I mean, we were already saying Jake Ferguson is like the number two target. So,
Yeah, I mean, but I think Pickens is going to start, finding his way, with targets that are necessary. So I think he's a nice flex play moving forward.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Again, if
I
you
don't
look at,
I don't think it's game script. I think he's a nice opportunity to start moving forward.
if you're looking to take shots, do it in a game that's going to be this high of an over under.
Yep.
So it could be all right. Yeah. I can't wait for that game. It's going to be good. And we've got a lot of interesting players
And that
that
defense
are,
got exposed last week, so
I don't think I've seen a worse defense than Dallas's. They're,
well, both
and
defenses got
both
exposed
defense.
last week.
Let's go to the next game. Tommy's favorite game in the whole wide world. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Giants. Kansas City are the road favorites, -5.5 points. The over under there is 44.5 points. Not
You
a
know,
lot of
you know something about this game?
what you think the
At
Giants are
least
going to
one
win.
at least one of these teams are going to be 1-2.
That's true. And it won't be the Chiefs, or it will be the Chiefs.
Well,
Um,
I'll take that. Won't be. We
uh,
will not edit that out.
okay. So, uh, not a lot of points from Vegas for the New York Giants. So, you play the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you're a crazy person like Tommy and you think the Giants are going to win, then maybe you go back on that. But in
That's
reality, you play
called
the
being
Chiefs
a true
defense.
Giants fan. Just,
Yes.
I bleed blue.
All right. On the Kansas City side, we have confirmation Worthy's going to be back in.
He's 50-50. Just something just came out. He's 50-50. He's going to be a game time decision, it sounds like. So
I would not be interested in playing him if he's in. You would?
I might. I might. I
Okay.
think it's going to be he's going to bring a little bit more energy to that offense.
Okay, we bring it up. Like let's just cover the must starts. So Kelsey, you're playing him in a game like this, and his performance thus far. Again, he's piecing it together with smoke and mirrors. But you're playing Patrick Mahomes in a game
Mhm.
like this where they're scheduled, slated to score that many points. And like we said, you're playing the Chiefs defense. On the Giants side, you're playing Malik Neighbors, and honestly, if he keeps it going, like I just don't know how you sit Wandale Robinson. Although if you have a really better option at flex or wide receiver, then go with that route.
Mhm.
So keep it in mind. Running backs, I would not want to play either of the backs for the Giants. Although, like you said, Scatterboo could be the good pickup or a good stash for the future.
PPR, I'd probably play him
Maybe,
flex.
maybe it's far down. Kansas City, I know how you feel about Pacheco, but now's not the game for this is not the game for it, I don't think.
No, no, Giants defense is too good.
And while they
Well, Giants
continue
front.
and while they continue to 50-50 Pacheco and Hunt, both of their value is vultured to some degree.
Hmm.
So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, yeah, player Chiefs and Worthy if he's available. If Worthy doesn't play, I get you could throw in Hollywood if you want to. Although Bollywood Brown is has been our favorite punchline for the last couple weeks here. All right, let's go to the final game of the week. We've got the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, the home favorites, -5.5 points. The over under there is the highest of the week, 51.5 points. You
Yeah,
are playing just about everybody in this
I
game.
don't think there's anybody to really discuss here. I think everybody you're playing that you basically drafted.
Well, one name I definitely want to spend more time on, but let's just quickly go through the names. You're playing Jameer Gibbs. You're playing
Hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're
Hmm.
playing Jamison Williams.
Hmm.
I guess you could throw in Laporta. I don't see how you sit him in a game with this many points. On the Baltimore side, playing Derrick Henry, you're playing Zay Flowers, you're playing Lamar Jackson. Here's some of the questions. In a game like this, do you play David Montgomery? I wouldn't because Montgomery tends to do better in games where they're like slated to crush a team. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, slated to crush a team. They're also slated to put up a lot of points, so I could see him, crossing the end zone.
Okay. Okay. I would be trepidatious about it. But and the other name I just wanted to mention, notably, who we left off this list is Mark Andrews. Like we said, we're
For a
done.
reason.
We're done with it. We already recommended him as a drop. I don't know if Likely is going to be available in this game. Even if he is, I wouldn't throw him in there the first game. You got to let him get his feet out from under him.
Mm.
So no, stay away from it. So therefore, to make Tommy happy, that means there's going to be somebody else in this game that gets some targets from Lamar Jackson. I don't think it's going to be Hopkins. I don't know if it's going to be Wallace. I don't know if it's going to be the other guy,
Do you
Taiwan
think
or
it's gonna be
Bateman. The problem is it's going to be somebody, and we don't know how to do it. So if you want to take your emergency shot, you could take it on Bateman, maybe take it on Hopkins if you really feel that. But somebody's going to do it, and it won't only be Flowers.
Yep,
So
yep.
you take of that what you will. Uh, Tom Lang, is there any reason that people should be scared of playing Jared Goff here?
No, do it.
Do it. No.
Just do it.
All right. So then Jared Goff is perfectly fine
We
as an
are not
option. So
sponsored by Nike.
So there we go. That's the full slate of games.
Yep.
As Tommy mentioned, we really encourage you guys to interact with us. There's a lot of interesting sit questions. Like even Tommy and I had some disagreements. So feel free to comment on our stuff, throw us information, hit us up on Sunday Live. We're happy to interact with you guys. You actually get both of us on Sunday Live this week because I won't be at a horrible Jets game this weekend. So, closing thoughts, Mr. Lang?
Yeah, if you could please share, subscribe. We truly appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch our videos and work with us on Sundays. So, looking forward to it.
Yes, we are. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.